Hello and welcome back to the North American LCS. It's time for Team Liquid versus Echo Fox, and my name is Rivington Bisland III. I'm joined by the Earl of Elder Dragon, Aiden Zyrene Moon.
Ooh, quite the title.
How's it feel to be out of the den today?
Feels great, but I am no Rivington Bisland III.
Oh, it happened. We can change that. We'll change it later. Let's kick things off by looking at the starting lineups. We'll get right into it. Selecting on the blue side, it is Team Liquid. That means it is Impact in the top lane. It's Smithy roaming around in the jungle. Cobalt are holding it down in mid with Double Lift at bot and his support now, Ole.
Yeah, that means Coach Kane doing the picks and bans. That means on the red side, it's going to be Echo Fox. In the top lane, it's going to be Huni. Jungler is Dardoch. Mid lane, Phoenix. With bot laner, Altec. Support Adrian and Coach Inero.
And we will see what these teams have for each other today. Despite picking up a win yesterday, Echo Fox once again showed a little sloppiness when it came to maintaining those early game leads.
Yeah, it's been a trend for Echo Fox where they get those leads very early on off of skirmishes and individual skill, but now they're showing a tendency to relinquish those advantages because of mid-game blunders where they just go very ham and it ends up backfiring. But the teams that they've been facing haven't been able to punish Echo Fox's overconfidence by taking a win, but now they face a team at the top of the standings.
Yeah, that could possibly do that. You don't want to be giving those opportunities to a squad like Team Liquid, who, despite taking their loss yesterday, sound a little more motivated here to stay at the top of the standings.
Yeah, you have to think, because last time Team Liquid lost, it was to 100 Thieves, and then immediately after that, they came back with a vengeance, creating that 3-game-in-a-row, fastest game of the split, back-to-back-to-back run. And yesterday, Double Lift tweeted out he didn't want to let Impact down again. So you can see already that they're remotivated and refocused for today's matchup and looking to bounce back.
Well, we'll see. It puts a little pressure on everybody. Double Lift, he tweeted in the early part of the year, this tweet holds me accountable. This one will hold him accountable as well. See if he can help out that Impact in the top side. He had a bit of a difficult game for himself yesterday, but also a lot of pressure was given towards that top side, so he fell behind. That is Impact.
Yeah, and now Impact, after that game yesterday that really did kind of look like it destroyed his mentality a bit. I'd never seen Impact like that. And now he's going up against Huni, who gets help in the top lane, plays a lot of those carry top laners, and this is another test for Impact, so we're seeing if these bounce back. So far, seems to be all smiles.
And we talk about a bit of aggression. You have Dardoch as well in that jungle versus Xmithy. You think a little bit of a strategy, game control over, I'm in your face, I'm going to destroy that game control.
Yeah, Dardoch had some really good plays yesterday. His counter gank on Jax was fantastic on the top side of the map to really set his team ahead. And really, Dardoch and Huni have been big stars for this team, alongside Phoenix in the mid lane, who's going up against Pobelter. And Pobelter didn't really, I feel like people are saying, is he going to crush Jensen on Cloud9? Well, he was still the best performing member on Team Liquid yesterday, and even though he wasn't able to get an advantage in the mid lane, his game wasn't really revolving around that lane. So now he's up against Phoenix, who I feel like has been pushing his lanes forward, having a high forward percentage, and trying to push the tempo of the game by himself. So we'll see how Pobelter does up against Phoenix, who's had a surging split so far.
Juggling those hot hands there as the players prepare to get into the lobby. You look like we are just about ready to get into picks and bans. And I'm sure after watching the games today, these players are ready to bring out a few of the things we're seeing. Maybe some Skarner, a little more Jax, as Dardoch played that yesterday, as the junglers are getting a bit more aggressive in some sense, and then ready for the late game in another sense with that Skarner pick. We'll see what happens here in picks and bans. In phase 1 of bans, Lucian and Zoe are off the board.
Lucian against Huni. This means,
go figure.
I feel like Gangplank is something that Team Liquid would be potentially first picking like they did yesterday, and now they're already banning away some champions that they're afraid of Huni having in that top side, so they're trying to set up Impact and champion select.
Even a little bit hit on Dardoch as well, as the Camille's been flopping around a little bit now. Second ban from Team Liquid. Tristana gets taken away from Double Lift, as he has had some great showings on that yesterday, or I should say last week.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Not yesterday.
If you ban something like GP here, you leave Azir up for Phoenix unless you're going to first pick it. But that's going to be a blue side Azir ban, which I feel like is great for red side because that frees up a pick that you really just don't have to squish down.
Talia gets taken away from Pobelter. You were saying even in the loss yesterday, played that too, pretty good effect. He won't have that chance. What is the priority here for Team Liquid? What do you think they're going to grab?
Well, the Rise.
They think they're going to grab the Rise.
Yes. The Rise sticks out to me because both Azir and Talia are gone. This leaves things like Galio potentially on the table that you can play into it. Corki is another one that has a pretty good time against the Rise. But remember, Phoenix has played Cassiopeia into Rise before as a counter pick, and he's one of the only people to bring it out in the NALCS. So he might play that here specifically in this matchup.
Kalista locked in for Altec, and they are going to grab that gangplank for Mooney on the top side. He gives a little head nod saying, I can do damage, I can hang out in lane myself without too much help, but also crush it if I do get that assistance from Dardoch, which we may be expecting.
Yeah, and so they already have some safety in the bottom lane with the Kalista to help out Adrian, and a very big power pick in the early pressure for Altec, but that'll be up against what won't be a Tristana, so it won't be one of Kalista's hardest matchups. So they're pretty good in Echo Fox's corner right now. And the GP, you're expecting the Gnar or the Vladimir to come out. Impact is going to go with the Gnar, the more tanky champion, or the one that builds more tank items. And we'll see what he's able to do here in his bounce-back game against Huni, who gets a lot of pressure.
That was a 3-0-6 for Impact on Gnar. Only has one play on that versus TSM in week 1 so far this split. But he obviously knows how to get into Mega Gnar and make things happen. Tarek locked in for Oleg. We were thinking it was going to be something special today by word of Oleg, but he says Tarek. We were thinking Morgana or something else.
Yeah, he said that he, on the NALCS lounge yesterday, that he really did want to play a different champion yesterday, and then he's saying, I want to play my favorite champion, and it might be the Tarek here. He's going to play that, and like I had said before, the Cassiopeia for Phoenix is the counter pick to Rise comes through. It's kind of the no-brainer for Echo Fox as they've played it multiple times already.
All right, so the pinch on Doublelift now, possibly a Varus from Echo Fox next, as we see Adrian getting hit up here with the Alistar. There's the Varus, and what does Team Liquid answer with?
Yeah, the Varus, of course, those double bans.
Yeah.
We'll see if they ban maybe Braum or Shen. Could be 2 more. There you go. The Shen goes down. This would push you towards Braum normally, but Adrian's support tier list is a little different. Tom Kench also comes to mind. Yeah.
Get him in there.
That's true.
Listening.
I do wonder, though, because I feel like Tom Kench is probably the best fit here for the composition.
I would agree.
But you might wait to pick that as you already could secure yourself a priority jungler. Braum for a little more aggression. Okay.
It's going to be.
So the Braum will help with that early aggression if you can get yourself concussive blows or a Winter's Bite stack. The Kalista can chase people down with the slow on top of it. It also allows Adrian to go for some fights and help engage and have a way to kind of get out after the Kalista ult.
I feel like that's a great point. Looking at the AoE they can throw down with the Gangplank ultimate and the Braum, you're getting things stuck in there for Cassiopeia. Kog'Maw going to be rotated onto 4 Team Liquid. Doublelift picks that up, and we're looking for something for Xmithie in the jungle. Sej is still up, as he wonders about what that selection will be.
Sejuani would be good. It would put a cleanse tax onto Phoenix in the mid lane and force him to take that summoner spell. So the Sejuani does come through for Xmithie. This leaves things like Zac, Jarvan, Jax even available for Dardoch. And he has been loving the Zac. The engages have been fantastic from him all split long.
The Zac attack going to be abducting somebody, hopefully before that Cosmic Radiance goes off, if they're not in the pile to get that protection. Pretty big fight comp coming from Team Liquid. They can scrap in a fight real hard. It looks like Echo Fox kind of wants to kite that fight unless they get the perfect initiation.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of initiation power for Echo Fox from the Zac combined with GP makes it much easier for the Zac ultimate to land if somebody is slowed and you can get that elastic slingshot onto them for the starter. But then you also have Team Liquid with a backline that isn't very mobile, and they're going to try to play these fights with the Tarek invulnerability from Ole. So I'm really looking at Dardoch to start these fights off for Echo Fox correctly when they reach that mid game. But we don't know if it'll reach that point because TL have had explosive early games, and Echo Fox have had those mid game blunders where these teams, their strengths and their weaknesses match up in a little bit of a lopsided way.
And I kind of want to track that as we get into the early part of this game. The Zac and the Sej can still be pretty active early, but do you see this being a composition where Echo Fox can find themselves controlling everything where they've been losing control in that early game?
I feel like Echo Fox will now say, hey, our top laner and our mid laner scale, it might be a bottom lane focus here. Altec and Adrian didn't have that great of a game yesterday, so maybe that's where they're going to try to look here, because a Kog'Maw, for myself, when I see that as a jungler, and especially when you're playing Zac, that just looks like Gank City.
Get down there, give them the razzle-dazzle, and make them taste a little bit of their own medicine. We're heading into the Rift for Game 4 of the day. Team Liquid versus Echo Fox. As these teams at the top of the standings, 5-2 Liquid versus 6-1 Echo Fox. Continue. Top of the standings, who's going to get the win, though? We'll find out right now.
And this is a split where Echo Fox fans in full force. Right now, they win this. They are tied for first place. And in fact, it would even have tiebreaker over Cloud9 because they're the only team that has taken a game off of C9. So, Echo Fox, this is a complete reversal from the splits they've had before, where they've been 7th place near the bottom of the standings consistently. And so, as we had heard earlier, fans definitely cheering for Fox.
Definitely a bit of a position they found themselves into this season where they said, kind of rested on our laurels for a bit. Felt like we were too strong, got in our own heads. The practice becomes a little lax, and you don't go into the game thinking, or you go into the game thinking nobody can really beat you.
Yeah, I was talking, or I guess I overheard Dardoch talking to Phoenix after they had had that game where it almost got away from them, and Phoenix had this like 1v3 near Baron. And instead of being like, man, we shouldn't have done that, I shouldn't have like elastic slingshotted into the dragon pit, he was more like, oh man, wouldn't it have been cool if you had won that 1v3? It's like, wait, you shouldn't be encouraging him to take those, but that's the type of environment that Echo Fox has. They're all encouraging and empowering of each other, and it's really interesting because this was the team that everybody's like, oh, they're going to implode after they lose. They have all these egos. But it really seems like a lot of them are humbled by each other, and they really just wanted to play with very skilled teammates. And now they're on a team where they have that, and everybody is kind of empowering and encouraging one another.
It is really working for them. No one ego is kind of toppling the other, and it's starting to come together very well. We'll see if they can hold it throughout this early game. See the keystones, or the runes, I should say, popping up on either side as junglers make their way to second buff. I should say first buff.
Well, for Dardoch, yes. Because Dardoch went with a leashless Raptor start, and now he's starting on the top side of the map. It was warded by Xmithy, though, but this is usually a jungle route you'll take so that you can get to the bottom side of the map and go for a gank like we were saying, where this may be a bottom focus from Echo Fox, whereas Team Liquid, they have a winning top lane, and they could play off of that.
Playing it safe here on the top. Expect him to have a bit better of a game on his game plan than he has lately. Pack just gnars out and stays safe.
Yeah, and let's take a look really quickly at the keystones, because Huni is running the Grasp of the Undying. This is actually the highest win rate Gangplank keystone in solo queue, because it helps you sustain, gives you some extra damage, and then eventually makes you a little bit tankier, as opposed to Klepto, which is just there to get you gold. And
hello.
Went for the invade because Dardoch did a full topside clear, and Xmithy was already routing towards that area.
See what happens in the bot lane, too. If they can get a bit of a push on here, they might be able to cycle around, knowing Dardoch does not have blue. Add a bit of pressure. Ooh.
Wow, you would expect Dardoch to back here, but he's going for a really tricky, unexpected top lane play here onto Impact.
Why not? You have the passive. A lot of times you can put yourself in that stressful situation and then play it a bit safer. We'll start to back off on that as we see level 2s and 3s in the bot lane here. 3s get hit by Fox. The 2 was hit by Doublelift and Ole, but it has switched since. There's Pole Belter and Phoenix trade in the mid lane. Interesting, the lanes are going a bit hard here to start things off without the jungler intervention.
Pole Belter?
Usually they're waiting, but not this time. There goes the cleanse, gets it out. Phoenix getting pushed back in the lane, but still taunting Pole Belter into the last line of caster minions, thinking he might get that extra damage.
Yeah, got the cleanse out of Phoenix there. And now Huni's just walking up, kind of threatening, because there's potential to hold on bottom lane play.
This game is on fire right now. Double it, forced to flash, all tech forward, could get the rend down. Now to mid lane, Phoenix flashes down, the rinse repeat. As they come in with Pole Belter flashing forward for the kill. Now a back and forth in bot lane leaves everybody limping away from the situation and chugging potions. And summoners are down on the side of Team Liquid.
And this has really just been Dardoch not being able to get much of the game here because he went to the top side, got chunked out, spent so much time in that top bush that he was expected to be closer to mid during these types of plays. So the fact that he went for that risky play has actually put a lot of his lanes at risk here. And you can see where he is on the map. He would have been a minute or so further along in his jungle route and could have been able to counter something like this. But I love that Pole Belter and Xmithy are ready to capitalize on this, and they even get the flash to boot.
Right at the last moment. You always ask yourself why you did that.
Because I could have lived.
Your finger always does it regardless. No push in top. Huni still has impact locked into his turret for now. This will actually give good pressure to the map if he can draw Xmithy back up to that side. However, Impact playing safe shouldn't have too much trouble, and Xmithy has already started to make quick work mid lane. Getting Pole Belter going is going to be a good thing. You were saying kind of overshadowed in their losses, great in their wins, but we'll see if he can start it off and show that he's the one that has the power.
Yeah, and getting that first blood assist and the tier very early on for himself. We'll see if he's able to, snowball this further. But look at this, another gank mid, no flash onto Phoenix, and Xmithy's coming around. But he gets spotted by Phoenix, kind of knowing that his other side was warded up with a control ward, so he couldn't actually match it.
Seems like they're keeping very safe.
There's so much vision control for Team Liquid in the mid lane that Dardoch needs to back, get a control ward, get his Tracker's Knife, because Xmithie's jungle route got him to back with Tracker's Knife very early on, and he was able to track Dardoch during those first few minutes afterwards, where Dardoch couldn't really counter. And so this has left Phoenix in a really bad position. And you can see as he pushes up, he has a risk of a gank here through the control wards.
Xmithie still living on the top side of that jungle. Pobelter playing it very calm as well, not showing any different positioning to alert Phoenix to a possible gank. And Xmithie coming in all sneakily. He's just gonna walk away.
Just swapping to the other side.
Yeah, he's like, all right, I'm gonna go through. You know I'm here. You know I'm here. A little fight between Pobelter and Phoenix as he knows he can get in there with a quick shield.
Yeah, and as Phoenix levels up, has the presence of mind from the precision tree, so he just spams all of his spells, tries to dump mana and push the wave. And now he teams up with Dardoch here to clear out a control board. Mid-vision, we talked about Pobelter playing against Phoenix here. This is a big matchup for these two, and a lot of mid-control should be on the side of TL. With Dardoch now finally finding a way to get to these lanes. You can see Pobelter's not having it. He's just going to back up.
It's going to be tough, too. Pobelter with that stopwatch could easily make quick work of that gank and have Xmithie behind him, as he already is in the back pocket to start things off. It seems like that's where the party's going to stay for a while. Yeah,
and when you play against Zach, Zach has very unique gank routes into mid lane. He's one of the champions where Raptors into the middle of the lane is very doable. So you always have to watch out for those, and you can tell that Team Liquid are focused on tracking Dardoch, making sure that, ooh, hit the wrong one. Focused on tracking Dardoch and making sure that he can't get into these lanes. So right now, TL in a pretty good spot right now. Remember, they're, oh wait, this is two people here, and Dardoch gets it.
Dardoch's going to be able to hang out for a while. Passive still up. If you don't remember, is working with that blue buff you just stole. Great damage from Huni to participate in the fight before he can get there. Dardoch low, as Xmithie may be able to surge back into this fight and stop him up. They don't want to take any barrels, though, as it is very back and forth. Nobody finds a champion to zero out, but blue buff stolen by Dardoch.
Yeah, that's actually big because it would have allowed Pobelter to get back to mid lane because he's out of mana now, but he would have had a blue buff for him, so now he has to take a back that he really doesn't want to take, as well as blowing his heal there for no summoner spells from Echo Fox.
Ooh. Trading back and forth. Not stinging too much yet for impact, so he knows he can stay in range to get his hands dirty in this situation. 69 to 74 for the bot lane. Everything's actually pretty even except for that CS we just saw Pobelter miss in mid lane. He'll have a bit to clean up here.
You'll get some of that underneath the turret, but not much. It's still going to be an advantage for Phoenix because they've been able to reverse the pressure.
And remember, Ugon, no tier stack.
Yeah, remember, this is a counter pick for Phoenix. The Cassiopeia should be winning this matchup, and Xmithie's early pressure is what reversed it, as well as Pobelter playing well. But look at this first ulti. Whoa!
Kind of leads him a little bit on that one. Stopwatch pretty early for Altec, thinking the big damage going to come down early. And now he gets taken down. Flash still up for him if they want to go crazy later, but that heal was there and he goes down.
Yep, not able to really block for him, and Altec doesn't flash, like you said, blows the heal, but that's a successful gank from Xmithie to set up that bottom lane Kog'Maw, which is the big scaler here for Team Liquid.
Infernal Drake time. This will actually feel pretty good for all the damage that Team Liquid's composition can be doing. It doesn't look like they will actually try too much. Vision around the area is going to be gained by Fox, but they won't place too much. They can't protect these wards. Altec back to lane, and Team Liquid looks like they'll get a push and a back. We'll see this again.
Yeah, comes out from the Tri-Brush immediately, hugs the wall because there's a control ward on the other side, throws it still in the path so it will flow. Like, it's one of those memes, but it's actually something that where if you lead him, he might flash into it, he might jump into it, but even if he flashes, he'll still end up in the slow. And keep in mind, it is a pretty potent slow, especially when it explodes. It lasts for a long time. I believe it lasts for about 3 seconds after it blows up.
That is an eternity. Anything longer than 2 seconds, you're like, is it gonna end?
Yeah.
Is it going to lose shield 6 seconds?
Yeah, it slows for 3 seconds, and it's an 80% slow. So after it blows up,
basically forever. Ooh, grounded by Miasma, locks him in, gets the back minion, but pushes him against the wall. Petrifying Gaze goes down, but he still has quite a bit of tankiness behind him with the build.
That looked like Dardoch was going to commit to it completely. He got the Q and then started to walk away, but that's still Pobelter chunked out and a little extra damage. But hold on, Xmithie is actually flanking mid lane.
Yeah, it looks like there's a small rotation from Adrian, but they were just clearing wards from Altec. I thought a lot more was going to happen there. And Xmitty says, all right, vision on you, Dardoch. You're going to go for my jungle. I'll go for your jungle. Not going to get a teleport from Impact on the top side. Long walk for him as the lane is reset. And we're seeing the action from Team Liquid here.
Right onto it.
Remember, you said from the Raptor Pit, Zyrene almost getting Pobelter to go down. He gets himself to safety.
Yep. Not able to get him, though, even though he was grounded. Not able to quite stick the landing there for the Zac. But Pobelter gets out and gets back to lane after switching out for the teleport. So taking stock of all the lanes. Pretty much even CS across the board here for everybody. Small advantages here and there based on waves pushing. So we do have to look at the scaling and things like that Infernal Drake and the kills that TL have picked up for themselves. Because that'll help the Kog'Maw out a lot, as well as the Ryze in this early part of the game.
So not that any team has failed at doing anything as of yet, but would you have liked to see something happen for a team at this point in the game?
It's mostly just Dardoch took a big gamble on the top side of the game very early on, which could have put him in a better position mid. And it's one of those sunk cost things where you'll go top, say, I'm already here, I've spent 30 seconds here. You really do have to cut yourself off earlier than that. But it's one where if he were able to actually get an advantage for Huni, it could be a very different game. But this is the state that Echo Fox's game is in right now, and TL right now are in the lead. And I think it's very well deserved because Pobelter has been playing well in this counter.
Absolutely. Locking it up, waiting for Xmitty if he needs to, but also not forgetting the fact that he's against his Zac. If they don't have the correct wards, he's got to play very careful. A little low on mana for this one, but it looks like he wants to take the fight, knows that Xmitty is there, so kind of puts himself in a position that says this one's going long. And Phoenix backs out a little too much.
And you can just see how much work that blue buff is doing there, because Pobelter is really taxing his mana pool as he goes for these clears with the Catalyst and the Tier. He really does want to have more, and Phoenix has been able to get his, whereas there's this very stark mana pool difference here between the two. And that might put Ryze on the top side, being desperate to get his blue buff that's coming up right now, and that leaves an opening for a play on the bottom side that may get taken up here as you see 4 people playing the map right now for Echo Fox to look bottom.
Absolutely. That was a great eye. Just seeing TL go through, place all these wards in a support jungle position. Now we have Dardoch and Adrian who just filed through the backside of Dragon, ready to clear everything out and have vision. One final ward placed by Ole does see Dardoch, so they know things might get a little hairy in the bot lane as mid lane again toe-to-toe for a few attacks. They just do not stop.
They see him.
Ducked it over, 1-2,
What?
He gets himself to safety. The slippery Zac could go down. Passive gonna come up here. Ultimate pops there for Xmitty, still gets out for the slowest on Dardoch, finds himself a way out. Has he baited Adrian in? Oh my God, Fate's call! Gets him out! Now he hops over the wall, and abracadabra! Echo Fox is alive.
Nobody died. They all come down for Dardoch, and he gets away by the skin of his teeth, and they get a lot for that in terms of summoner spells off of Echo Fox.
Interesting. And still these guys are on an island up top. Let's see this again.
There's a ward from Ole. Dardoch is actually going to use his ultimate first, gets over, gets knocked up, gets fully stacked, but the E isn't fast enough there. Stuns him afterwards, and then Adrian jumps in to try and get a slow. Dardoch flashes the other way, and then right before Adrian is about to die, that Kog'Maw ulti looked like it was about to finish him off.
That was less than 50 HP. That was awesome. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
It's the plays that need to be made. And having those kinds of summoners down, the overreach for a play allows you to go a little harder on the next play. Because everybody's in such chaos. A little lane control grab there just by HP. But that's Echo Fox setting up again.
That's where we see the butterfly effect of what would that have looked like if Altec had had his ulti and Adrian had had his as well. Are they able to flash on the double lift to force his flash, etc.? But they get nothing there. And instead, I'm looking mostly at TP advantage.
Whoa.
But hold up.
That's not who you want to see when you turn the corner.
Zac.
Oh, wait, Dardoch! A new player enters the fight, and now it's going to be a kill going on to Ole. They did not expect so many behind Adrian. And here comes Phoenix over the wall with the blast cone. Gonna start slowing him down, gonna start locking him down. Sinks the Fanes in as Dardoch picks up another kill for himself.
And that's the game plan, just helping out with the GP ulti, and Dardoch now focusing on the bottom side with this Infernal up. This puts Echo Fox right back in the driver's seat.
He's been holding off. One 133 to 147 there as Impact trying to do just that on the top
Whoa.
side. Petrifying gaze. Pobelter not really goal side to his objective. He needs to get back to safety. Flashed over the wall. No vision in the brush. Tries to get the noxious blast down, but does not carry his speed along with him. Phoenix cannot catch up.
Yeah, gets the flash out of him, but blows his own in the process. And that's Infernal, and you could see they didn't really have anybody else from Echo Fox help out because they're just trying to get the maximum here as they get that first turret, or second turret actually, as the first one went down already.
All right, how many do we have to watch again? How many fights? Let's watch this again.
Welcome to Echo Fox versus TL. There will be fighting here, especially with things like this Zac. You can see, jumps in, Olay, even if he flashes away, he's going to get slowed by the GP ulti, so it's a lose-lose situation because of the setup. And that was a play that TL were looking to make as Adrian was on the wrong side. And then Dardoch is there to help counter.
Those wards have paid off behind Dragon Pit so far. Echo Fox has been able to use them over and over again. Double lift in a sore spot. Cosmic Radiance not necessarily being used for this one, but they do get the stopwatch from it.
Looks like you want to keep going.
Of course, why not? You got the summoners out of the last fight pressuring now. Team's feeling good. He's just stretching back to give that aggression as they jockey for position. Rift Herald back to full. This means TL can dance for a little bit longer. TP coming in from a half Mega Gnar. It's going to be a tiny impact when he comes in, but it can still be a big play. A lot of damage going over onto Echo Fox. Altex get the lead immediately. They trade back for Pobelter. And now it's Adrian and Phoenix trying to get to safety as he protects his mid laner. Dazzle goes down onto Cooney, gets himself out with a sliver of health. Ole goes down as Winter's bite freezes him up, and Dardoch lives. A very dangerous game that Echo Fox plays, but it keeps them alive.
And a triple kill for Phoenix. He played that fight so well, especially on the back half of it. Double Lift was getting pot shots, free hits on multiple people, and that would have been TL cleaning that one up if Echo Fox didn't reassess the fight in the middle of it.
Absolutely incredible in a fight that relies on wards placed, wards cleared, sweepers during the fight, losing, gaining vision. Those are chaotic. 5-3 here, 17-40 in, and the gold is still very
looking for Double Lift here. This is a support and a jungler.
He might focus for the kill at that point. He knows he's going to go down one last hit. Concuss and blows! And they take down Double Lift. Another one for Dardoch on the Zac pick.
This Zac has been doing wonders for him and Echo Fox. This guy, remember when he came in, it was the Lee Sin, the clean Lee Sin.
Yep.
Mostly off of things like getting kills and getting engages with the kickback. But the Zac for him on Echo Fox just really is so telegraphed that he's going to go in, the team better follow. And he's been having an outstanding split.
It's a dirty Zac. You can't have a clean Zac. It's not something that happens. You're picking up crap all over the rift. It's dirty, but it's good. It's good dirty.
It's like when you have, or Play-Doh or something like that, and it gets hair in it, you're like, no.
No. I'm sure he's got a lot of that impact hair right now as they head towards the top side. Furry Gnar goes down. Impact, after playing safe all game, finds himself a sore spot after this one.
Yeah, watch this, because Dardoch's Elastic Slingshot is down, and Double Lift gets a lot of damage off in this fight here over the wall because of the position. So the TP comes in from the top side, and Echo Fox immediately go, it's time to engage on the bottom side. Altec pulls in Adrian, throws him onto Pobelter, and then the ulti towards Olay as well helps. But look at Double Lift, just free hitting right here, hitting Phoenix, who walks away, and now Double Lift just has to fight. With no flash to get over that wall, he has to walk all the way around, so his damage output falls off drastically here as Phoenix does so much work with Hooney's ultimate, slowing people down afterwards.
Dardoch very happy. We get right back in. Altec went down first last fight. They were still able to come out on top. The focus is back to him as Impact flashes forward and picks up a kill. Pobelter has already fallen, but Impact goes down. Xfinity as well. The retribution kills for Altec as they pick up 2 more liquid members and look towards mid.
Echo Fox give teams no time to breathe. They are absolutely relentless with how often they pick fights. When you have a Zac that is not ultimate dependent on when he can start a damn fight, Dardoch is going in constantly. We just got out of that last one in the replay, and they're already picking up more kills here. And this is the Fox style where they lean on those skirmishes.
Talked about it. If they get that engaged, they're going to want it. Otherwise, they kite the fight, but they have been in go mode to start things off. Dardoch on the Zac, 4-0-4 as we get things going. He started off in the mid lane after Phoenix got hit. They tried to pressure, and now it's just continued. We'll see how this one started again.
It's a counter. It's another counter gank here because it looks pretty juicy. They get Pobelter 2-on-3, and then the ultimate to pull 2 people back, keep Altec alive just long enough. Gets the kite, blows the flash from Impact, but now the reinforcement from Hooney is there, and they're able to clean up. A 3-for-1 definitely favors Equifax. You don't need math for that.
Going to have to start looking at these teleport windows, summoner windows, and what is up, because it seems like the windows for TL to fight are getting much, much smaller.
Oh, I just feel like Equifax don't care about windows. They're going to bash through the panes immediately if they see an opportunity. They see a fight that they want, they are going.
There is a draft. Where will they go next? All that vision towards the top side of mid just allowed Dardoch and the team to get into a gank. But they are able to protect a lot of that as well. TL's gotten their vision towards Baron, which is good. Keep the fundamental eyes on the objective. The power in numbers that Fox moves with, along with placing these wards once again. Very hard to take them down or get under their skin at this point.
This is another early game that TL did all right in, but they weren't able to have those same 27-minute crushing types of early games.
Yeah.
And that has to be a worry for them moving forward, because they weren't able to do it versus 100 Thieves. Versus Equifax here, it's been a 21-minute and a half game so far, and they're behind. And then even yesterday against Cloud9, TL may be looking at coming into the week tied for first, and then having an 0-2 week where they were playing the other two teams that were tied at the top of the standings. TL has to get the rest of this game together, take a breath, and not let Equifax dictate this game.
It's about Equifax as well, kind of identifying that was happening in the early game. We saw Xmithy topside, Dardoch pushed out of his jungle immediately. Xmithy then to mid, they take down Phoenix right away after a 1v1 flash is gone. And then it kind of was just Fox saying, oh, all right, let's slow it down and let's play our game.
And Fox, their game is just constant
slow it down and then speed it up.
Exactly. They're just like, hold up.
Like they stalled for a second and hit right back into gear.
It's like, okay, can we take this? Yes, we can't go. And that was all they needed, is that brief pause to put the pressure on. And now this is the second Infernal here for Equifax.
Putting a little burn on that, a little more damage for the team, 9-4. The 3K gold lead as things start to mount up on the side of Equifax.
It's interesting because Altec has been a primary focus for Team Liquid in these fights. You can see, has those 3 deaths to his name. But right now, we are seeing big power spikes for Huni and for Phoenix as he's hitting that 2-item point. And you really, I feel like the Callista is going to start falling off as the Cogmog comes up. But the other 2 carries of Equifax are going to do a lot of the heavy lifting here.
Also, Altec's probably only gotten maybe 1,000 to a bit over that damage in the fights with how fast he's been going down. And the team able to clean that up and pick the fight back up is absolutely huge. Very demoralizing as well when you see that happen. You think you got the bot laner. The fight should be easy. Your next priority target could even be a tank at that point, you feel. It is not here for Equifax as they work around these fights beautifully so far. And again, they go to gain control over the top side of the map.
Yep, you want to control mid and top during this point of the game because there's Baron on the table and no Dragon. So the Cassiopeia, if left alone, would be able to go for a very quick Baron. This is a team that really could decimate the Baron with Cassiopeia plus the Callista for the Rend. You can't leave them alone with that objective as they push their way into the topside jungle and try to get some control. But I feel like the reason they're not doing a Baron right now is the fact that Huni doesn't have TP and he wouldn't be able to contribute. So they're kind of waiting for that cooldown before they do pull a trigger on even a bait.
Fizzled out on the Gnar, seconds on Adrian, Summoners, seconds on Huni's. As we just said, those teleports are coming up. And the Summoner spells flash. Everybody wants those for the fight, or maybe we'll start it in the fight. Cosmic Radiance blown
and
for
flash.
The initiation. That is absolutely huge. Dardoch is just flexing all over right now.
But that's huge because the flash is down too, and you want that as Cogmog because you're going to get GP ultied pretty much every fight. And when you have a GP ulti on top of you as a flashless AD carry, you have to kind of limp away from the fight, and you don't really get to help too much.
All he wants to do is stand still. All he wants to do is just sit there. He does have the Quicksilver Sash to try to get himself to safety now, but his job just got a lot harder.
Feel like you started. Yep, here they go.
On the other side, there's the teleport coming in from the top. Full Belter and Impact. No, yes, no. Is he going towards Impact or away? Because they are splitting the fight a little too much. The focus is on the top side. Impact into the wall. If he can sweep him, gets himself to the bot side now, and they are doing a beautiful job of routing Equifax in this fight from what looked like a very scary entry.
And that's going to be huge for Team Liquid. They'll even up the gold here if they get this Baron, and that looks like one that Dardoch isn't even going to try to contest now.
What a flip-flop in the fight. Beautifully done by Team Liquid. Just waiting the last few seconds, taunting Fox around to get Mooney's teleport up and make sure they can get to that fight. Sorry, Impact's teleport up.
That fight was all over the place. I like how Doublelift was one of the last people to come into the fight because he's the flashless carry. And then the ultimate from Huni, watch this, when it comes in, because it's in an awful position here. It is right on top of Doublelift, but they aren't going after him. They're going after Pobelter. Bottom right-hand corner of the screen here, the GP ulti comes down, but Doublelift just is already walking out of it, and there's no threat on him, which is the way that Fox would want to approach the fight. But Pobelter is able to avoid the engage from Dardoch, and that just completely shuts down the plan from Fox as TL had those fancy feet.
Absolutely. Coming in very clean on that. It's almost like they wanted Fox to finally cycle into that little area to fight in. And now the push towards mid lane, ready to open up the map, get those wards to encroach a little bit more. Here comes Dardoch.
Still going.
Pop back with the assault charge, I believe, from McSmithy there. Wasn't able to get a quick initiation. And now they're waiting for the next wave. 5v5 in the mid lane. Looks like Pobelter peels off for just a moment and gets some wards in.
But yeah.
Oh, we'll go for the waves, so the team's going to hold mid.
That looked like a really simple fight to take from just, you have the ulti, be going after Doublelift when you see him because it's pretty easy to pick him up. But they went after Pobelter, who outplayed.
26 minutes in, starting the 1-4 split. Mid lane's going to get knocked down here as they have to respect what is happening on the top side. It's Smithy also posturing, making sure that the team can have the distance.
Yeah, when you have the Warmogs on Sejuani, you can go ahead and tank. He has no armor items, but this doesn't matter. You just walk up, tank the turret, and then you'll recover that HP before a fight really happens. And now Impact on the top side to defend if Phoenix were to go aggressive.
Ooh, that slow might have activated the Rune Prison fight that they wanted. That blue buff on Pobelter means he's going to be machine gun maze just as much as Phoenix at this point. Good clears in the mid lane. Huni making it hard even for the Baroned up minions to get through to those waves, but they do grab one and have a minute and a half left on Baron.
Yeah, but the gold almost even here, and TL have clawed their way back into this game and showing signs of that late game team fighting that we were talking about. Everybody sees everybody else with the sweeper.
Ooh, Petrifying Gaze just missed. The entire team turns back.
What are you doing?
Oh, it's the last second turret takedown. Sometimes it triggers people to initiate. I don't know what it is. You gotta be careful. Dardoch went in, the team could not follow behind him, only the slingshot used there, but ultimate just whiffing on the grab, so they have to be careful that they cannot grab those priority targets for a little bit now.
Is reaching, but that's not far enough.
Zach's job.
Yeah, he's just gonna get blown up one of these days. That is so aggressive, and he's still finding some ways to go for elastic slingshots and fish for them. Still trying. Stave off this Baron. There's 30 seconds left on it here, and we have that Mountain Drake coming up just now, so that's really where TL are going to position. But simultaneously, Fox are not going to have it. They're going to go to the top side to make sure that their waves are clear and that Altec can get some farm here because he's falling behind. The rest of the team is just going to clear out mid. TL now even in gold, but even in Drakes as well.
3 of those Infernal Drakes on the map means no more Infernals. We do see a mountain coming through. If we get a few more of those, Oceans, Cloud Drakes, what have you. But I don't know if that's going to be the focus right now. Seeing that turret go down means TL has a bit more objective control. That'll definitely help as they approach these last inner turrets. Great power play by them over Baron. And now they have a bit of control on the map, but it's really anybody's game. They make one wrong move, and Echo Fox has the fight that they want, just as TL had that last.
And I absolutely love this type of game state because we are at that mid, almost late game point where the gold is even. We have even Drakes right now, and it's about these team fights and these engages and how the teams are playing in terms of communication with one another. The lane phase is by far and away, it's over now. And so we're getting into that juicy part of the game where the rotations come through, and I want to see these elastic slingshots from Dardoch hit somebody that he really wants it to, but I want to see TL, like Smithy's been doing, try to interrupt them. So it's back and forth playing around each other's win conditions.
Slow moves towards the bot side. Obviously the only wave being pushed in right now as the team patiently waits for mid to creep up. Lots of wards there for Team Liquid and Echo Fox to make sure the initiation doesn't come from too far away as Dardoch
Doublelift has flash back up.
Shot, gets himself ready. Adrian just used the Unbreakable though. 4 members there in the eyes of Dardoch and team. Cannon Barrage gets thrown down. And now nobody covers on the bot side. A little bit of rotation for Pobelter, but it looks like he does decide to stay and get some extra damage on the bot.
Yeah, again, The Cannon Barrage comes out, but then it was an instant stun from Olay onto Dardoch, so Dardoch couldn't even get his ultimate channeling before that actually went off. So Olay, right on point with the protection there, making sure that they can't kidnap Doublelift, who is the primary target here for the Zac.
Meganar down, the last few shots on the turret. Doublelift able to get into range. Mercurial Scimitar to keep him safe if anything goes crazy, and his items finished as well with that Rage Blade charged up. He is doing a lot more damage than Altec at this point off the bat.
And now Doublelift is in a position where he has the ability and the tools to outplay incoming engagements, and then the ball is in his court to really just execute. So Doublelift now has the upper hand on TL, and you can see Smithy saying nope. Arctic Assault.
Dardoch low stops the slingshot right away. Not the first time he's done that, whether it's at the end of the slingshot or the beginning. He knows that that completely stops the fight, and he's got enough safety to get out.
And that, like we were talking about, where I want to see these teams match up that engage right there and then the counter engage, because when you play Zac, you normally think about, oh, I don't want to play against Janna or Thresh because the Flay or the ultimates will stop me from getting in, but Sejuani is able to do that as well. But it's a little bit more difficult to do so because Arctic Assault is one of your primary tools for throwing your ultimate, because it hides the ultimate animation from Sejuani and allows her to keep momentum. So a lot of people combine the two.
In after that, basically in most situations. You gotta be very careful, but Smithy has it. Feeling good. The whole team as well feels pretty good after being to stave off the early game, and man, that feels good.
Minion Dematerializer might have helped him out at the start too. That is that oddly satisfying.
Yep. You don't get that too much anymore. Back and forth. That is a big Zac.
Yeah, it looks like he has the Elixir of Iron as well. Increases the size.
Little turret damage. Able to bust on things. Baron is up. It would be great to try and get a flash or an ultimate out of anybody on the map. That's kind of the priority right now. Impact's going to leave that bot lane to see if they might be able to get something started middle. They have
number 30.
Wards for Fox. Impact's coming from the fog of war here. Adrian very low. Fate's Call brings him in. Does he go into the fight or out of the fight? He's in on two members. Ole and Xfinity get popped up as Cosmic Radiance comes down. And Ole now kind of left on his own here in the back of the fight. And Pobelter, what is going on in this fight? That's going to be an R going down. Impact plays coming in from Fox, and they find Pobelter alive but soon dead as he goes down in a 2v1 situation. Imagine if they were 5v5 fights, how they would be controlled like that.
And we were talking about it where Echo Fox love the skirmishes. They get one that favors them, and now the Baron on the table. Dardoch is below half HP, though. He's at like a quarter. He smited early. It's Kallista's job to rend it.
Oh, baby Zac in the pit.
They gotta keep Zedge out.
Come out. Beautiful job. Actually, grabbed up by Phoenix. Going in, almost gets the elastic grab. And the slingshot is just too short. Echo Fox turn the game back on its head. 33 minutes in.
Once again, they get control. This fight here divided. Dardoch goes in, gets interrupted, and then Doublelift is skirting this fight. But you can see here, gets pushed out by the ultimate, can't deal as much damage as he would like, and then the invulnerability comes down. So the landscape of the fight changes here as Dardoch forces another flash out of Doublelift because he flashes away, and so Altec just gets to make Impact a pin cushion here on the bottom side of the fight and clean him up. The GP ultimate and then the Zac threatening the Kog'Maw were huge to make it so that low mobility carry has to blow flash and can't contribute.
Such scattered fights, and those are the kind of fights as well you have enough time to see. Like, if we played that differently, Pobelt just lives versus a 3v1 in a situation with another shield, one of those lockets on him. Absolutely insane. So I don't actually think we've seen how this game could play out yet. Echo Fox doing a great job of putting it back in their favor for now, though.
But this is such an interesting game because that was not a front-to-back team fight. That was a flanking team fight where I definitely think that TL would favor front-to-back, having a Nara, Sejuani, and a Taric versus the Zac and the Braum for Echo Fox. You want to have a front-to-back team fight here with the Kog'Maw, but Dardoch is trying to make it a dive fight where he can get on the Kog'Maw, because I talked about the scaling for TL. It's mostly Kog'Maw and a little bit of Ryze, but the Cassiopeia, the Gangplank, definitely scale better than their lane counterparts. So Echo Fox would deal more damage in a straight-up fight, but you do want to make it so that you can threaten the Kog'Maw and push him back, which is exactly what they've been doing with Dardoch.
See if they can push it back a little bit more. Now Team Liquid's resources have to be split between top and bottom. How do they decide to do it? It looks like Pobelter, rightly so, will control the bottom lane by himself as they try to clear up these minions heading down the mid lane. Baron buff is there. Get a little more damage. And
Oh, Phoenix.
On these minions. It's like they want to initiate but can't. Little pokes from short range is what Team Liquid has to work with right now as Huni starts entering the base. Maybe an Impact is going to dance on the bot side. Short dance.
Yeah, but so far, Doublelift is kind of the only one doing well in this game for Team Liquid in terms of his score line. But you can see they're just trying to get it. There it is.
Oh, Arcascalt back in. They stop Dardoch from getting his positioning. Impact able to get away before they lock together two members. Cosmic Radiance goes down. That was some big damage coming in from the side of Team Liquid. They could get the exit kills that they want. But how far can they push back? All the waves are pushed towards them. They kind of just have to play a game of cat and mouse with Fox right now.
That was so well done from TL. Like, Smithy stopped Dardoch from getting in and even channeling ultimate or flashing, and then they reassessed the fight. They got out of the GP ultimate, which has just been stuffing Doublelift's damage, and then we had the Cosmic Radiance come down for them as they went for the re-engage. That's how they need to approach these fights, is stuff the engage from Fox and then re-engage with using the Terran.
Another Mountain Drake going over now. That will mean Elder is next, and we will see this fight one more time. You're saying Doublelift able to keep himself in a position.
Yeah, but the GP just makes it a living hell for AD carry. So you see he has to walk all the way through. Smithy saves his bacon there. Doublelift has to walk all the way around. Now he gets to deal some damage, pops the W then, and goes forward. But now he's basically clearing minion waves as they once again go for a play here. An Impact flashes off the back of Olay going for the stun there to set it up.
Where the chase has left us. Dragon and Fox has backed now towards the top side of the map. One last outer turret for themselves to take down. Baron buff has worn off recently for Echo Fox.
But TL have double Mountain Drakes for themselves. It's going to help them out so much in taking down the Baron. If they're able to get map control again, they don't have their inhibitor down, which will help them a lot without having that super minion wave pushing. Now we're looking at a point in the game where, once again, team fighting is king, and assessing these fights is what's going to win them for the team, because we've been seeing small adaptations, right? It's like, oh, I didn't block that time. I should block every single time now. So you aren't seeing Smithy throw those ultis and try to engage, right? He's not trying to pick out Altec with a Sejuani ulti because he has QSS, or Phoenix, who now has Cleanse, or GP, who has a way to get it off with the orange. He's waiting to just counter what happens from Dardoch.
Fantastic damage onto Dardoch to start things off. Even with his sustain, still will take him a bit to get back to safety. Start working around the map. I feel like Team Liquid is poised and ready to take a very, very big fight. Echo Fox is kind of pressured in to say, yeah, Baron's going to be there. We can go for that, but this inhibitor looks really nice. CL, I feel like they can just take advantage of this. It's almost kind of a stalemate in Echo Fox's eyes.
Echo Fox are just waiting to find that moment. Phoenix doesn't have flash right now, and that's big for them because you want that up on your Cassiopeia.
Got halfway to go.
The Baron is up in 1 minute and 45 seconds, and that Cassiopeia, hold on though.
Ooh, just wide left.
Yep.
Good movement by Phoenix, giving himself some speed as he came into lane. Gets the safety on that one, keeps his blue buff, but still, that's the ult down. Kind of thinking of these things late game, how much those windows matter, and you know Team Liquid's going to play a little safe now.
Yeah, he knew that Phoenix didn't have flash, but had Cleanse. If he could get it there, it means he wouldn't have it for the Baron that's coming up. But DPS for Echo Fox just runs straight down mid. They're looking for this inhibitor. They may get it here.
Nice block by Adrian. Don't have to worry about being slowed on the way in or out.
Oh, Impact popped the Gargoyle Stone Plate there.
Dardoch committed on that one, but they did not go back onto it. Didn't have enough, and he's not exactly the primary focus of the fight. All summoners up except for that flash on Phoenix and the flash on Impact to the left side. This is going to be one hell of a fight as we get to it. Not even 6 items yet on champions around the map, so there's still quite a bit of power to go in this game.
Yeah, Doublelift has a way to go to get there. Rise still powering up, whereas Huni, he's got extra bank at this point. He's almost got 20,000 gold in this game, and the next highest is 17. So he has been doing a lot of work in terms of just that gangplank with the Klepto, or not the Kleptomancy, but just the Relic Shield was helping him out, as well as the Parlay. We'll see if he swaps any items out, because he has Adaptive Helm, which won't help him in the damage department, but will help him against the Kog'Maw W % HP damage, because that actually does count, magic. And then Rise spamming spells at him as well will also be reduced by the Adaptive Helm. So it's a little bit tankier here for the GP.
See Adrian, don't see it too much. Seeks Convergence, getting grabbed up, still a fun item.
a lot of people still don't know how that item works.
Yeah, it's true. If you play Karma, you get it quite a bit. And then you can figure out how it works. You use it all the time. You still create a little fiery attack for your opponent.
Yeah, for the
you get
person
a
that
storm for yourself.
Yeah, you get a storm for yourself, but you want to kind of put them on top of each other.
Right.
So enemies are getting slowed. You can ignite it, right? Or enhance the slow, I guess.
Keeping that magic resist up, though. Keeping everybody safe. And still has the locket for himself. Redemption falling out. Don't need the health. It's all in and all go.
All right. Phoenix is about to have his flashback up.
Stand aside. Oh. It's like, yo, bro, you just countered my ult.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a jump there from Adrian.
Yeah, he got him to stand beside me, and then Fate's Call is down. Sejuani's ultimate. Xmithie now has that Glacial Prison back up. There's a few pings down mid lane.
Yeah, because it looks like Echo Fox actually aren't as interested in getting a fight as they are clearing the mid wave and getting mid priority here. Mid priority like this, when it's given to you, will allow you to go up towards the Baron, especially when there are super minions that will push down mid.
Yeah, they clear out that last wave, so all the way down towards, it's going to be caught by Double Lift. Is this a 4v5 fight that they want to grab, though? They do not see where Pole Vaulter is at the moment after he clears top wave. And the wards are getting cleared out left and right, so it only slows things down. To force the fight, though, is what Echo Fox wants. They feel like they know that Pole Vaulter and Double Lift just back, or were in base, preparing for what could come. And now the Baron's been taken over, rendered out by Altac. Impact in a bad spot, doesn't make it over the wall. It goes down, 63 seconds on the clock. That's Dardoch in, but he's gonna be able to live long enough for the team to get back. The health bars are being deleted on the side of Team Liquid as they get washed away. And Xmithie's gonna be the next one to go down, rended out. As Ole runs for his life. Hooney's just going tit for tat with Pole Vaulter as the rest of the team and the cavalry is right behind him. As Ole's the only one left alive. Fox take over the base.
Echo Fox are going to try to end the game right here and take possession of first and tie C9 at the end of week 4.
Entering at 6-1, leaving at 7-1 as they start on the first Nexus turret. 15-7, an all-out brawl back and forth throughout the game, in and out of replays. We were back into the fight, but now Echo Fox has finally found their way to the Nexus, finally found their way through Team Liquid, and will pick up first place in the NALCS.
A 2-0 week for Echo Fox. This one was a bit cleaner from them. They were able to find out mid-game, hey, we're being maybe a little too aggressive with our engages, reassessed it, decided not to give as much to TL, found some clean fights for themselves, but it was definitely a stressful one there, and a hard-fought victory for Echo Fox.
What a great game, definitely pressuring back and forth.
Yeah, TL gave them a run for their money, but TL,
I love games like that.
they went 0-2 this week against the top 2 teams. That has to not feel great, but at the same time, they did give Echo Fox a rough time. And it's interesting, because TL had a lot of momentum. A lot of people coming into this week said they've been crushing people, 27, 26-minute games. Obviously first place, obviously the best team in the league. Echo Fox and C9 step up and say, no, they're in the conversation.
And that's the first 0-2 week for Liquid as well, coming into the split. They've been playing quite well for themselves. Another 2-0 week for Echo Fox as they continue to figure out, if there were any issues, say, yeah, we got a little complacent in our loss that game. We thought we were kind of too good. And honestly, we hear that from a lot of teams when it comes down to it, if they've been doing well.
Yeah, the issue here, though, is TL, after that 0-2 against the top teams, they aren't really going to get a chance to bounce back for a bit here. They have to have this week, and this was a strong week for them where they could have had sole possession of first if they beat Cloud9 and Echo Fox. That's one of those opportunities that you're definitely going to work hard at and try to get through that week. But if this was the best that they had, you have to be looking at Cloud9 and Echo Fox and going, these teams actually look quite good now.
Absolutely. It's been a different season than I think a lot of people thought from the start and up until now. So to hear more about that game, let's send it over to the analyst desk.
Thank you very much. We have a slugfest of a game, but Echo Fox left standing at the end of it to move to 7-1, tying C9 at the top of the table. 2 of our best teams in the league right here, just battling it out, toe-to-toe, skirmishes left and right.
Yeah, 9 kills in 18 minutes. That's so many more than we're used to seeing generally in the league and across the world right now, so that's great to see. And they didn't have to take crazy early game comps to do it. Pretty much standard in the general sense of it, though there were a couple interesting little knickknacks to this draft.
Yeah, I think the fact that there was a unsuccessful game for Impact first picking GP yesterday might have influenced Echo Fox's willingness to leave it open. They also have traditionally been very comfortable with Cassiopeia into Rise, so giving that away first pick was fine. So in a way, Echo Fox kind of got what they wanted with that draft, but once they have Zach and GP and Callista, they're just going to be going in over and over again. That's how Echo Fox plays.
Right, and it was a pretty well-played game by them, but you see how close it is. This fight, Pobelter's over the dying, and he doesn't walk into the Taric ultimate, but double lifts over the wall, getting a lot of damage in, then has to walk around. The Gnar ultimate, or Mega Gnar runs out right as he's getting involved in the fight, so he's going to get finished off as well. Not able to find any of these kills, and Dardoch and Huni living with slivers of HP.
Slivers, and that was a theme throughout the entirety of the game.
Yeah.
Dardoch getting away at the last second, kind of knowing the limits of his champion. But I want to push forward to 25 minutes. Our other team fight, Team Liquid, 2-0 plus the Baron.
Yeah, and this kind of just shows how close the game was. You can see Echo Fox kind of grouped around the Baron, of common force where they're trying to get the other team to fight. Usually it ends up in a 50-50. This time Team Liquid calls them on their bluff and goes in really early to get multiple kills and get the Baron for themselves. And that's when you were like, yeah, there's a lot more game to play still.
All right, so here's my question. Whose game was that, right? Like, was Team Liquid playing Echo Fox's style? Was Fox playing Team Liquid's style there? I mean, which one would you have attributed this game more closely to?
I mean, that was Echo Fox's play.
Yeah.
And that was Team Liquid trying to respond to the play. And that's what Echo Fox has been able to do to get a lot of these victories, is they draw the other team in to the style where Echo Fox is most comfortable.
Right,
they're able
because
to win
I
those
heard
fights.
you say the words, this team is or I don't want to misquote you, but in
Okay.
talking about Team Liquid, it was this team is better.
Yeah.
These players are better than the team is performing.
Yeah, I'd say like Team Liquid is too good to look this bad.
Gotcha.
Would be one of the ways, because they just, I feel like they should be better than that. Like, I feel like they should be able to punish these super aggressive moves by Echo Fox, and I feel like they should have cleaner team fights, but they're not gelled yet. And they're this super inconsistent team that looks great one week, and then are they slacking off in practice? They're losing that motivation the next week, and then they come out and they look flat.
Right, and then on the flip side, it's the individuals of Echo Fox, right, and the execution within those skirmishes that is really top-notch.
Yeah, and I think they've done a better job recently with that. I think this game, they didn't take a single 50-50 Baron, which is something you could have criticized them in the past for doing.
Okay.
They tend to do it from behind, but they've done it from ahead sometimes, too. So it's nice to see that they aren't using that quite as much, and they actually worked more with mid-control and forcing ultimates out to force the Barons.
We're actually going to take a moment as well now to send it down to Avli, who's standing by with Echo Fox's slingshot specialist.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Dardoch. Congratulations on that victory. With that win, you guys keep your hold on first place. But I want to ask, coming in against Team Liquid, how confident were you?
To be honest, I was kind of not as confident as I normally am going into the game, because I do respect Team Liquid's roster a lot. And I have a lot of, I mean, I've played with a couple of their players before, and I do know that they're a strong team, and they have a lot of, they've had a lot of very convincing wins in LCS, and we were looking shaky our last kind of couple showings in LCS, so I guess I knew we could win, but I knew it was going to be hard.
What was the main thing that you were looking out for coming from them?
Nothing really in particular, other than they just seem like they play around wave priority. They play really standard, so we knew that as long as we kept our communication in check about the basics, that we would be able to at least contest them.
Your 100% win rate with Zach, 5-0. You look so strong on this champion. Why do you think you perform so well with him?
Honestly, every time I pick Zach in 4-5, I don't want to pick Zach, but my team keeps telling me to pick Zach. So I just say my teammates' confidence in me helps me a lot.
Does the champion fit in with your play style in any way, or?
It wouldn't. If you watched me since my 2016 rookie split, you wouldn't say that Zach really fits my playstyle, but I mean, I played probably like 150, 200 games of him during offseason, so it's pretty clean.
I think everyone has seen Rick Fox, the owner of Echo Fox, cheering you guys on in the stands. What does it mean for the team environment, team atmosphere, to have such an owner that's so supportive and accessible?
I mean, it obviously helps a lot just having people in general just being there to support us every day. Like, Stratton comes out, Jared Jeffrey comes out, our president, and also Rick Fox comes out very often. So just seeing them in work every day, and then also them to show up on the days that matters most helps us a lot.
Well, Dardoch, congratulations again on your victory. And for more on that game, let's go back to the analyst desk.
Thank you very much, Avali. Pretty clean. Yeah, pretty clean. That's
understatement,
one way
maybe.
to put it. 5-0 on the Zach so far. But it's an interesting point he brings up himself. If you had looked at him when he first joined the LCS, you don't point to Zach as the go-to champion for Dardoch's style. So he has greatly evolved and grown as a player over his journey here in North America.
You can still see shades of his play style, though. He's going pretty aggro, jumping in 1v2 at blue buff, but he knows this champion so well. He doesn't end up dying when he goes for that, gets that blue buff, gets out of that situation, too. So he has a monster impact on the game. And then on other invades
always
as well.
gets away.
Yeah, it never dies.
You can't really kill him, and he has passive a lot of the time, too, which allows him to be this fearless. But at this point, like, just having the guts to go for the support jungle play when you're so low, like that's why Double felt like he was safe up there. He's like, Zach was low, there's just a brawl, maybe a round, I'm fine, but you're not, because Dardoch is always going to go for the play.
All right, picking up player of the game this time around, Dardoch again excelling, moving to 7-1. What's going to stop this team?
I think, if anything, it's the way they win is going to stop this team. And we've compared Echo Fox to cryptocurrency a lot, and this would be like my most likely time to call them a bubble at 7-1, probably ending the first half at 8-1, because they didn't do it this game, but they've done so many 50-50 Barons, and I feel like they engage in so many 40-60 fights, 30-70 fights, where even skill, even play on both sides, they lose, and they are better than other players individually in a lot of these fights, but they're not better than everyone in the league at those plays. And if they're not flexing their muscles and improving the cleanliness with which they find these fights and picking higher percentage plays, like don't be so willing to opt into the 40% plays, then I'm going to fully believe in this team, because I look at the way they have played these games and see the 7-1 record, and I feel like that record is better than the play, even though they have been good.
Yeah, I think the way to think about it is this team is 100% on the same page about going in and taking those 40% fights. So they end up winning a lot of them, but it's going to be a concern when you play against teams who are equally on the same page with what they're trying to do. A lot of teams are still figuring themselves out, not 100% on the same page, and then you go up against teams who are also mechanically able to match up with you. They're going to have a little bit of a struggle.
And the thing is, they've played pretty much everyone. Like, I think they're big favorites against the 100 Thieves. So it can work, right? They can beat Cloud9. They've beaten Cloud9. They can beat TSM. They've beaten TSM, right? They've shown that they can do this, but...
Right, the only team they can't beat is CLG.
Yeah, clearly. And I think so many teams, Dash, are still figuring out how to play together, right? Like, they're not on the same page like Echo Fox is, or they all come from different fits. Like, their fit just doesn't work. One player's an early game player, one player's a late game player, and they clash. And as much as everyone made fun of Echo Fox for having all the toxic players on the environment, they have clicked from day one, so their synergy has been so much better than teams. I just want to see what happens when the rest of the teams catch up in that regard.
Right, I think this is more of criticism aimed at playoffs. Like, we know this team is going to be in playoffs. We know they're going to be good. They're going to be a high-seeded team. But if we don't see more growth out of them over the next half of the season, we are a little concerned. But they have all the time in the world to grow.
2-0 week, and the victory today comes over another top team. Up next, we have a brawl between Optic Gaming versus Clutch Gaming. Meet us back here after the break.